Hello everyone, how are you? It is well with my soul. I'm good. So I missed you guys. I missed you. I miss doing this. I miss sitting. I'm able to sit. I've been back and forth. Y'all know, those that know. I have been back and forth doing this and looking at that. Couldn't wait to get back. But we are back. I'm not going to hold y'all. Y'all know I go long. But you know why I go long? I go deep. I go deep. Yeah, and sometimes, I get comfortable down there. But I can't even make no promises. I was going to say I was going to work on trying to make things shorter. But I'm a teacher. And it's just how I roll. I like to get in there. I like to dive deep. I like to ask questions. I like to ask, seek, knock, find out what's really happening. Really. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. But today I'm excited about this message. It has been really ministering to me because I kind of study it before, I deliver the message. And it has been just so healing for me. It's always for me first. And then I can share. And maybe it might be for somebody else. But today, the theme, overall energy of this message is seeing the true you. Let's get that visual. How she's just gazing in the still waters. Yeah. Searching for her true self. And let me read to you what the book says. It says, sometimes we believe what others tell us we are, as though the self we see reflected back to us through their eyes is the truth. When the accuracy of a reflection depends upon the clarity of that which is doing the reflecting. If the mirror you're viewing yourself in is cracked, broken, missing pieces, or shattered, the image reflected back to you will be distorted, inaccurate, meaning your face isn't really cracked, broken, or shattered. The mirror is. The person and their opinion of you is. Even the moon reflects the sun in varying degrees of fullness and clarity. And we can learn something from the nature of the sun from the moon, but not as much as through direct perception. Let me read it again. And we can learn something of the nature of the sun from the moon, but not as much as through direct perception. You have been putting rather too much faith in the reflections others have of you, to the point that you might not be honoring all that you are and all that you're becoming, because you believe too little of yourself. Take inventory of your life. There may be those around you that are able to reflect you more faithfully and even help you to see more of your own greatness and beauty. These are the souls blessed with inner stillness. In the clear waters of their ocean of consciousness, you can come to recognize yourself with clearer perception. However, there are those who have not tended to their own ocean and are unable to be still enough to genuinely receive and reflect your light back to you. There is no judgment here, for each takes the path of self-healing that is available and appropriate at any given time. However, to attempt to see the magnificence of the sun in a very partial moon doesn't make sense. If you are blessed with those in your life who can show you the beauty within you, wonderful. But the task you are now ready for is to begin to develop the art of direct perception. This is the ability to recognize yourself not only in the eyes of others, but from how you feel about yourself, how you experience yourself, and how you observe yourself, and do this from a place of compassion, kindness, and kindness within. Do this from a place of compassion and kindness within. This is a step toward a radical empowerment that doesn't require perfection. In order for you to recognize that you are lovable and have so much to offer. It's an empowerment based on the acceptance of all that you are, working with your strengths, tending to your weaknesses, and being loving, encouraging, and nurturing of all that you perceive, discern, notice, observe, comprehend about yourself. And as you continue this journey, you will not only see your human self, but the eternal self within you. And this will be a breathtaking experience that opens you up to the creative spirit of God that flows abundantly through all of creation. But it's an experience that takes great preparation, because we must be strong within our own self-love and acceptance to be able to hold acceptance for all of life. This message is nudging you into that preparation. For when you have the breathtaking experience of truly beholding yourself, all judgment, fear, and doubt will fall away, and you will just know yourself to be sacred. Then you will be asked to embrace the deeper journey of sacred rebellion against judgment and fear, and into passionate creativity and unconditional trust in life, in God, in you. Step back if you are getting confused about who you are, your motives, your actions, based on what others are saying or how they are responding to you. In your quest to be a responsible person, you may be unintentionally taking on the feelings of others, making their reflection of you more than they are in truth. More often than not, reflections are more about the state of the reflector than what is being reflected. That is all with that. The number 29 might be significant. Okay. The end of it says, let go of those external perceptions. Let those external perceptions go. If you could just see yourself as God does, as you truly are, and have always been, before the evils in life had its way with you, you'd be free. And then it says, say with feeling, I now break any contract I have ever made with another, consciously or unconsciously, that is given them power over me. Power over my sense of self, the authority to approve or reject me or anything about me, including my voice, body, creativity, spirituality, and way of living. Of my own free will, I now choose to directly perceive my own inner beauty and turn within with kindness and compassion to see myself through the eyes of God's unconditional love. So be it. Taking time to reflect, taking time to sit with yourself, quiet the voices, really examine the images that you may have within yourself of how others have seen you, perceived you, projected onto you. I was sitting here thinking, and I wrote down what came to me was Adam and Eve, and how Adam perceived Eve after they had eaten the apple. And he says Adam was throwing Eve underneath the bus when he was the one who was supposed to be protecting her from the wolves or the wolf or the serpent or the deceiver. He said, the woman you gave me, she's the problem. She's the cause. She's the sinful one. She's the faulty one. But God, when he saw her and he looked at the situation, asked her, woman, what have you done? Everything. Examined herself. When he examined herself, and God sees us. He doesn't. He not only looks at us, but he sees through us, and his eyes don't blink. He sees. He knows us down to the DNA, okay, of us. And when he looked at her, he said, she's been deceived. So Adam had this view of her. God had this view of her. And Eve was there to, decide. And she had her own view of her. She said herself, I was deceived. That's how she saw herself. She wasn't trying to poison Adam. She wasn't trying to deceive him. She wasn't trying to seduce him. No, she had been deceived. So I just thought that was so important. It's so important that we go to God and ask. Without the shame, without the judgment of ourselves, and just say, God, this is what it is. What do you see? Help me to see what you see. Help me to see myself as you see me. Now, it doesn't mean that all the time when you go before God, you know what I'm saying? He gonna say, well, you was deceived, because we know that we have had to learn, we have had to grow, we have been tested, you know what I'm saying? And there have been times when it's just like, you did that. You made that decision. You let that in. You welcomed that in. You was loving doing that, whatever it was. But he's going to show us, when we go to God, he's going to show us the truth. We're going to see that true reflection of who we truly are and not how the world sees us. And then God brought to me Joseph. And I asked, how did Joseph's brothers initially see him? And I was thinking about, just what Joseph had a long journey. I think his journey was like 24 years before the things that God had spoken over his life as a child. The dreams that God had given him as a child came to fruition. And had he believed and taken in and taken on and wore like a coat, you know what I mean? His father had given him a coat of many colors, you know, meaning he was multifaceted, you know what I mean, like a diamond. He just was gifted, you know, just savant probably. Just, yeah, God had blessed him real good. But his brothers, you know, saw him through envious eyes, evil eye, eyes of hatred and jealousy. They saw him as a dreamer who was favored by their father. They saw him as someone to be eliminated, even murdered. They saw him as a threat to their inheritance. And when selling him, they saw him as a commodity to be rid of. So they shifted from murder to selling him to the Ishmaelite traders. And then when he was in Egypt, and they had to come full circle back around, their initial encounter of him, they saw him as an authoritative, harsh governor of the land. And they did not recognize him as their brother, as he was now 20 years older, dressed as an Egyptian, and spoke through an interpreter. At the reveal upon learning his identity, they were shocked, they were fearful, and they were humbled, having been brought to repentance by their experiences in Egypt. Throughout the reunion, the brothers grew to fear his power, but were ultimately stunned to find that he was their long-lost sibling. The long-lost sibling whom they had abused, attacked, betrayed, stripped of his coat, conspired to murder. The long-lost brother they had thrown in a pit, kidnapped and forced into exile, sold into slavery for a piece of change. The long-lost sibling who they had separated from his family. The long-lost sibling they had deceived their father Jacob by faking his death. The long-lost sibling whom they had stolen his dignity. Yeah, faked the death when they took the Joseph's coat and dipped it in goat's blood and told their father that a wild animal had killed him. They were the wild animals. Yeah, they were the wolves. And these actions caused Joseph to lose his family, his home, plunging him into a life of servitude and later unjust imprisonment in Egypt. But Joseph, going through everything that he went through, years and years of trial and error, he had to keep seeing himself as God had saw him, as God had shown him to himself. This is how I see you, through his dreams. You know, whatever that dream was, he had to keep it in mind and just keep looking at it from time to time in order to not lose hope in this hopeless situation. Because he went through some stuff over and over and over and over again. Just like, you know, the level, he was just tested on every hand. Just going through the refining fire. playing, just different roles, but to come forth as pure gold in the end, it was all worth it. And I'm sure he was just able to celebrate even the more after he was, just found himself like, man, look at even just looking at, he was the goal. He was the jackpot. He was the goal. Because how many people could go through everything that he had gone through and not become just as abusive as his abusers were? He had options. Yeah. Talking about being raised from the dead. His situation was deadly. When they put him in prison, they didn't say, 10 years, 20 years. He was indefinite. He was on death row. If he had not been called out, it was a tomb. Like the same one that Jesus was in. It was a tomb. It was hell on this earth. And had God not set things up in such a way, yeah. But the glory that was, it was a light affliction compared to the glory that would be revealed. Because baby, when God did turn that thing around, it was turned. It was when that wheel did turn around in his favor and he was on top, it was up and it was stuck. It was like that for the rest of his life and his children's life for generations until the new Pharaoh came along and then Moses had to go and get them out. But yeah. He had to see and keep seeing. Keep his mind stayed on who God had shown him he was in the spirit, so that he wouldn't be overly focused on who he was and where he was, in the flesh. He might have been serving. He might have been sentenced or plunged into a life of servitude, but he knew he was not really a slave. He might have been imprisoned, but his spirit was not on lockdown. His spirit was still free. Free enough to answer the call when it came. When they came for Joseph, say, hurry up, get ready, get shaved. Pharaoh wants to see he was ready. He stayed ready. He stayed ready. Let's go into some of these cards I got out here. We got the Sacred Clown. It's the first card. It says the Sacred Fool. The sacred fool, the trickster, is the one who walks the razor edge between chaos and insight. The clown suggests that reality is fundamentally absurd, and that the most sane response is not to impose order, but to learn the art of tumble. It represents a radical permission slip, permission to be imperfect, to fail spectacularly, and to find liberation in not being taken serious at all. The clown is the holy fool or trickster, bridging the gap between laughter, social commentary, and vulnerability. Far beyond simple entertainment, the clown acts as a mirror to humanity, highlighting imperfection, folly, and essential truth. Through comedy, chaos, and creating emotional connection through storytelling, vivid language, and sharing raw details of personal grief to create emotional bonds and provoke healing. The clown, the mirror of humanity. The clown acts as a mirror, reflecting human flaws, fears, and limitations back to society. They challenge authority and question established rules, providing a necessary balance to societal rigidity. And I think about Joseph and how he played the fool. He was played the trickster with his brothers when they came back and he put that cup. They came back to get grain. And then he said, no, I need you to go back and get your brother and bring him here, and then I'll help you. And then he put the cup, his gold cup, he set him up, put it in there as if they had stolen it. But yeah, he was being a mirror in that moment, mirroring back to them. He set this whole skit up so that they could see themselves at the end of it all. So that they could see. He wanted to also see if they were still the same self that they had been back then. I should look up that story, go over it, and I always recommend the Message version, the Message Bible version, because it's just cut to the chase. All of these and thous. It's just a down to earth version that I think I enjoy reading. But yeah, he was a mirror, reflecting back to them their flaws, their fears. Yeah, and also too, it was set up in such a way where it was questioning. It was able to question or cause them to question their authority. Are you still them or those who abuse their authority over others? He knew that when he sent them back for Benjamin, that their father was not going to want to, they was going to have to face what they had did 24 years ago. They was going to have to face it. Yeah. God got a way. God got a way of bringing things full circle. So that you can have an opportunity to repent. To say, you know what? We will not be doing that no more. That's all of us. Yeah. He got away. And thank you, Lord, for all the ways in which you did it for me, because it's all to purify us at the end of the day. to show us ourselves so that we can have an opportunity to change those things that we don't want to remain. The next card out is Fireman. It says bravest, heroism, sacrifice, rescue, and extinguish. The firefighter is the ultimate I'm trying to read my own writing. Symbol of resilience and selflessness. They are viewed as the closest thing to Jesus in many neighborhoods. A protector who sacrifices personal safety to offer hope in the darkest moments. A willingness to put their lives on the line in the line of duty, protecting lives and property. Their sacrifice is rooted in deep love for their fellow firefighters and humanity, forming an unbreakable bond of brotherhood. They have profound courage. Their bravery is not merely lack of fear, but an unwavering dedication to duty, voluntarily standing between order and chaos, stepping into danger when others are fleeing. Firefighters embody a form of courage that transcends fear, characterized by stepping into intense heat and perilous situations right here. This courage is often described as steady, calm in chaos, and a willingness to sacrifice self to protect lives. Let's pull some cards. These ones that I want. Give me something for seeing the true you. What do you want us to know about us seeing the true us, God? What else can you tell us? What else do you want us to know about seeing the true you? We have trapped and courage. Trap says, you feel stuck in your current situation, but you do have options. Look for another job while keeping the one you have now. And then it says courage. Ask what you are afraid of so you can overcome what's holding you back now. There are leadership opportunities for the taking. Woo! Let's get another one. Give me one more, God. Flexibility is the bat. So we got the spider, we got the lion, and we got the bat. You'll need to see in the dark. You'll need to see in the dark to maneuver the coming changes. While it seems extreme, just hang in there. This too shall pass. And I'm seeing the trapped being stuck in a current situation like Joseph was stuck. Looked like he was stuck in the bottom of a pit, in a hellish situation, to say the least. Around people who could not see him for who he truly was. Stuck at a current situation, but you do have options. Look for another job while keeping the one you have now. And I don't know if I said it because I did start this over again, but I was saying I've been back and forth here and there. But yeah, you know that God has more for you. Even though life has you situated in a certain place. But it says to be, God is advising us to be flexible because he has a position. But you got to be able to see in the dark. That dark night of the soul. It was dark down there in that pit where Joseph was. It was dark in just his life. Just being where nobody can see you. Nobody knows who you really are. Why you're really here. Wasn't time yet. You only feel stuck. Because you have options. But before you do that, you got to do that inner work. Because it says, ask what you're afraid of. So there is a fear. Ask what you're afraid of. Got to have courage. Like that fireman. So that you can overcome what's holding you back now. And I think that what's holding us back is seeing ourselves clearly. Seeing ourselves as we are. That's the only thing that's holding us back. Once we able to see ourselves, once we able to be flexible within, able to see in the dark to maneuver the coming changes, able to know that though it seems extreme, all we got to do is hang in there, don't give up, have hope. Because our change is coming. This too shall pass. It won't always be this way. We know how the story ends. Joseph goes from the pit to the palace. And the next card is ninja. You got to be stealth about it. Because the ninjas are the shadow walkers. The ninjas are the shadow walkers. Because they worked in secrecy, operating as spies and assassins. And yes, he was a spy of sorts. In a way. Joseph was a spy. He was put there by God, planted on purpose to fulfill the purposes of God. It says because they worked in secrecy, operating as spies and assassins in the dark, often depicted wearing all black, they were more likely to wear commoner clothes to blend into crowds and avoid suspicion rather than drawing attention to themselves. Undercover. Looking regular. Looking like a slave. Serving like one too. But as unto the Lord. Inside, Jesus wasn't even here yet, but they say that Joseph was a type and shadow of Christ. And we know Christ did the same thing. Just blending in. Blending in, being flexible. Knowing that you're a leader. Knowing who you are inside. The Lion of Judah. But your situation, your circumstances, got you feeling like You're trapped. You're stuck. Might be for now. But it says deal with that, deal with those fears, deal with those inner fears. Deal with what you're afraid of so that you're able to fly when it's time. Fly out of there like a bat out of hell. Joseph was moving fast when it was time. When his time came, he had to move quick. Let's get him bathed. Let's get him shaved. Let's get him ready to present himself. Okay. It says this hidden force on this ninja. Hidden force or necessary evil. Adaptability. Flexibility, adaptability, same thing. It stands for the ability to survive by being flexible and adapting to any situation. Intellect over power. Unlike the warrior who relies on strength, the ninja archetype represents using intellect, tools, and stealth to defeat a stronger foe. For Joseph, it was patience. He just had to live and not die, so he could see the salvation of the Lord. They often represent the spy, the ninja as the individualist. They often represent the spy, the rogue, or the independent agent who acts in the shadows to change the course of history without seeking recognition. If that's Joseph, if that ain't Joseph. Changing history. They often represent the spy, the rogue, the slave, or the independent agent who acts in the shadows to change the course of history without seeking recognition. Jesus. Same thing. Acting in the shadows. Jesus would be healing people and telling them, don't tell nobody. Acting in the shadows to change the course of history without seeking recognition. They favor a survival code aimed at protecting their clan and mission success over honor. Employing tactics like betrayal and stealth that samurai considered cowardly. Betrayal and stealth. In other words, Joseph putting that cup inside their bag to make it look like they were thieves, but they really were. He was dealing with them. He was setting all that up to deal with the thief that was in them, because they had stolen a lot of stuff. His cup, Joseph's cup of love that God had given and assigned to him, and taking it as their own. Next card is journalists. I just said to, live and not die. I shall not, that's a psalm. I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. The journalist, as a chronicler, is the observer of the human condition. Their role is a thoughtful recorder of events, often adapting a literary approach to capture the nuance of human experiences. It's less about the daily scoop and more about creating a lasting record or narrative of a topic, person, or era, often seen in columnists and feature writers. They often have a unique voice and present stories versus reporting headlines. The journalist combines roles of chronicler, reporter, interviewer, inquirer, and promoter, and represent a multifaceted observer who acts as a crucial link between raw information and the public. Read that again. Represents a multifaceted observer who acts as a crucial link between raw information and the public, often functioning as a steward of stories, a keeper of records. They focus on constructing narratives that that offer context, accountability, and engagement rather than merely broadcasting facts. Okay. Give me something, Lord, for the clown. Do I want these? I want these. Give me something for the sacred food, the clown. The clown. Many choices. The clown is the sacred fool is the one who walks the razor edge between chaos and insight. The clown suggests that reality is fundamentally absurd, and that the most sane response is not to impose order, but to learn the art of tumbling. Choices. You know, you try stuff. That don't work, try something else. Right? You have options, even if you don't see them right now. Get creative and look around. Pull a card for each option to see what's best. Yeah, the clown, he have options. He could do a lot of stuff. He wears a mask. He's a performer. He can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Give me one more for clown. Clarify many choices in clown. Many choices in clown. Shedding. Look at that. You are starting to outgrow your work situation. You need to set higher goals and standards. You work well in healing and medicine. See yourself. You work good. You work well in healing and medicine. Shedding. Whatever you were doing, get ready to do something new. Healing and medicine is what's for you. That's what we're seeing. Fireman. Give me something for the fireman. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Courage is associated with this fireman too. Yeah, leadership opportunities. Stepping into the fire, short term. It says, this position is temporary, so don't be too attached to it. No worries, you will find something else that's even more fulfilling and prosperous. Wherever you at right now, this fire is also too just hell. Wherever you at, it ain't where you're going. It's short term. Coming out of that fire. Yep. You shedding. This might not be such a, you might have been projected on and like I said, people saying, she just a wishy-washy. She just flimsy. She just fickle. She don't know what she want to do. He don't know what they what they want to do. They just here, there, and yon. They confused, this and that. But in every place that you've been, you learn, you've grown, you've lived many lives. You're flexible. You're not failing. You're tumbling. And learning the art of it too. But yeah, right here, we doing something new. Short term. Everything's saying short term. Stay flexible. Get ready to rumble. Let's get something for this ninja. See what this ninja talking about. Magic is on the bottom. So whatever it's going to be like, voila, magic. That's how it was for Joseph. That's how it was for Jesus, being raised from the dead. Joseph was the same thing, coming up out of that tomb, out of that prickly situation. See? That's why you got to be like the ninja. Because when you got to ease your way through all that prickly situation, prickly relationship, you need both tact, you need both tact and diplomacy to reach your goal. The struggle is worth the prize. The struggle is worth the prize. Didn't I say that earlier? It was a light affliction compared to the glory, the hell, whatever hell you done been through. It was a light affliction compared to the glory that shall be revealed. The struggle is worth the prize. Work around the issue and use a gentle touch. Stephly. They don't even know you. They don't even know you moving around. Gentle touch. Gentle touch. In the shadows. In the dark. He had to, Joseph, when he was in that situation, especially with Potiphar's wife, he had to use both tact and diplomacy in order to reach his goal. He couldn't just say, she's a whore and she tried to rape me. He couldn't go there. He had to say not a mumbling word. Yeah. He had to just tumble with it. Roll with it. Let it be what it was going to be until he was able to shed that skin naturally. Yeah, he was a spy. Okay. Let you say what you want to say. Let you see me how you want to see me. Yeah, he was literally in prison for attempted rape. It says the independent agent who acts in the shadows to change the course of history without seeking recognition in this prickly situation. Gotta move like a thief in the night. Gotta move like a thief in the night. Not seeking recognition. Favoring the survival, of your clan. And the success of your mission over being honored and, proven right. Gotta look wrong for a little bit. Give me something for journalists. Prickly situation. What's for journalists? Talk to me about journalists, about this reporter. On the table, let's eat. Journalists, it's looking like what's new. It's looking like what's new. What you about to do? See yourself as that journalist, and I love the journal. So it's easy for me to see. Yes. Yes. Yes, a steward over stories. That me. It says, time to put your demands on the table and get serious about what you want. Ask for a raise or promotion or a setup. But we got to get rid of that fear. Fear of being seen, fear of being heard. Everything that we read here and renounced, about breaking all those contracts that we done made with people about, our voice and just judgments, fear, and doubt. We had to let all of that fall away. and just see ourselves as sacred. You had to let go of the confusion about who you are and what your motives are and what your actions are based on what others are saying and how they are responding to you. Got to get rid of all of that. Yeah, you being overly responsible, unintentionally taking on the feelings of others. Got to get rid of that. You have the courage to be who you truly are. Yeah. Let's see. The next card we got out is Singer. Give me one more for on the table for journalists and on the table. Journalists and on the table. Time to put your demands on the table, journalists. What do you want? It's a promotion. Yeah, that's promotion is on journalists, and it's also promotion is also on the table. So it's safe to say that a promotion is on the table. The two cards that came out. C. It says, in the flow, the universe is sending you help. Tap into your inner power, and go deeper, to create the purposeful life. Go deeper. Don't go outward to create. Go deeper to create the purposeful life you really want to have. I say put your demands on the table. And you can have whatever you like. Yeah. It says you are cashing in on all the good work you've done, Joseph. You are cashing in on all the good work you've done, Joseph. Joseph done good them 24 years that he was in that situation. He done good. Raises now, Joseph. It's on the table. Bonuses and prosperity are coming in. Okay? Go, keep going. Keep growing through the concrete, Joseph. Keep going. Keep growing. Yes. And even I'm looking at this with journalists, keeper of stories. When Pharaoh asked him how he was able to interpret, you know what I mean? He said God give interpretations. That's what got him in. That was his ticket right there. To give God all the glory, not to take none for himself. Don't take the honor for yourself. Give God all the glory. It is God that gives interpretations. He knew that he was an interpreter. When it was time to show who he was and he got rid of all the fears, he knew give God that glory. Don't take it for yourself. Because he could have. He could have said to himself, man, I'm trapped. You know what I mean? I'm finna really represent. Yeah, he got an opportunity to report. I'm finna really represent myself and I'm finna get out of this situation. So, because I might not never get out of here. If he wasn't trusting, if he wasn't a believer, if he wasn't walking it out, yeah, he would have exalted himself. And God was getting ready to do that anyway. But if he wasn't trusting, he would have made the wrong turn, the wrong move, because it wasn't about Pharaoh being for him. God was for him. So nothing else could. It didn't matter what else his brothers, being in Egypt in general, a Hebrew in Egypt, nothing was against him. No barrier, no wall, no nothing was able to stand in the way of what God had already planned and said over his life. One thing about it, God gonna fulfill his will. His will is gonna be done. His will is going to be done. And Joseph trusted him even down to the last minute by him saying, it is God that gives interpretation. I'm not even finna take no credit. I'm finna give God all the glory and trust that he gonna look out. Even though it hadn't been going that way before, all up until now. No. Hadn't been going that way. I mean, it hadn't been looking like it was going that way. It was going that way. It was going exactly. He only looked trapped. He wasn't really trapped. It only looked that way. He just needed to play the part. Yep, you in the line of fire on the front lines. But keep being the ninja. Okay? I got you. Keep lay low. When I move, you move. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? Play your part. And when it's time for you to speak, I need you to sing like a canary. Okay, we got singer here. It says residence, moving hearts, harmony, emotion, and performance. You are a performer who acts as an emotional conduit, using vocal technique to create deep, soul-stirring connections. You combine technical skill with raw vulnerability, transforming sound into a shared human experience. Okay? So he was using his voice. And he might not have been singing, but he was definitely having to perform. Interpreting the dream, listening to the dream, interpreting the dream, and eventually saying, yes, it's God. Pharaoh, God will give you the interpretation so you'll know what to do. And this was a shared, and this was for the sake of humanity at large, because everybody was in famine. Famine was everywhere. Nobody was being spared. Yeah. All over their world. Yeah. And God used him as an emotional conduit, as an emotional channel. He had to care about Pharaoh having dreams and nightmares and can't sleep and all this. He had to care. And then he had to use his voice, his vocals, to create in such a way, use his vocals in such a way to create a deep soul stirring, where you know what I'm saying here, whatever he said, Pharaoh knew. Listen, when Joseph got finished saying everything that he said to Pharaoh, Pharaoh said, we gonna serve your God. Your God gonna be our God. Now, if that ain't a soul stirring connection, I don't know what is. The moment of resonance occurs when both performer and audience, Pharaoh was the audience, when both performer, Joseph was the performer, and audience, Pharaoh was the audience, are fully invested in the present moment. Let's imagine that. Let's imagine that. Nobody else was able to interpret Pharaoh's dream. Nobody. Not his best warlocks, magicians, soothsayers, whatever you want to call them, whatever name you want to give them. Nobody else had the answers. Nobody. He knew God was talking to him, and he was desperate. He needed an answer. He knew God was telling him, there's going to be death, and a lot of it. And he was basically saying in his spirit, what must I do to be saved? And nobody could answer. But here they are. Performer and audience are fully invested in this present moment. It says the singer's body is an instrument. Resonance should be felt through the whole body, turning it into a living vessel of sound. Authenticity and the singer and authenticity. True emotion is a prerequisite for successful performances. False affection is detected as a lie, while true emotions last. Yeah, Joseph had to be authentic. He had to come forth. It says true. He had to come forth with his true emotions. He was a performer, but he was speaking passionately from the heart. Moving around just right, setting the things up just so that he could communicate what Pharaoh needed to know. Next card is learner. He had learner. It says seeker, wanderer, pilgrim, and individualist. You possess a deep-seated, restless drive to discover one's true self and a more authentic life through exploration. Joseph was a type and shadow of an explorer. I mean, he was put in a position, but he was still like on an exploration, a pilgrim, a wanderer, a seeker. And it caused him to discover at the end of the day his true self. It says, you are driven by curiosity. Wait a minute. You possess a deep-seated, restless drive to discover one's true self and a more authentic life through exploration, learning, and experience. It says you're driven by curiosity and a longing for freedom. You are not necessarily focused on a final destination, but rather on the journey itself, pushing boundaries to avoid conformity and boredom. Explorers are driven to learn new information, explore new places. Joseph was in a new place. Learning new information. He learned how to speak Egyptian. When his brothers came, he was speaking through an interpreter. So yeah. Learning new information, exploring new places, and uncovering the unknown. They possess a no limit philosophy, no limit philosophy, often going where others stop. Now let's be honest. If God had not sent and set up this for Joseph to be in Egypt, he would not have been there. He would not have been there. But God meant for him to go on this, you know what I'm saying, on this journey of learning and exploring and learning new. And I think that was part of his success too, because he was a learner. You know what I'm saying? And unlimited in his thinking. You know, he hadn't been conditioned, you know what I'm saying, to only think one way, or no, he was able to think outside the box. Yeah. It said often going where others stop. God knew which one to choose, which one to pick to go on this journey. Independent and authentic. They value autonomy above striving to live in a way that is true to themselves. They value autonomy above all, striving to live in a way that is true to themselves rather than following social convention. Live in a way true to themselves. Yeah. Shedding skin so that we unlimited and able to go and flow and be what? Flexible. Might have went through the fire. But one thing about it, Joseph wasn't burnt. He did not burn. Hell and high waters, but he didn't drown and he wasn't burned. Might have been in a prickly situation, but God knew that he had given him everything that he needed to navigate his way through it. The diplomacy, the tact. He had everything that he needed to get out, to make it through. He was able to flow. Yeah, be flexible. That's how the bat got out of hell. Yeah, because there were leadership positions on the table. Yeah, they are focused on self-improvement, growth, and the pursuit of knowledge. They are motivated to find out who they have the potential to become. This is what was inside of Joseph that just kept giving him that drive, to just keep going. I have a dream, okay? He had a dream. They're always making constant progress. No matter where they put Joseph, he was able to perform at an optimal level. Yeah. And that's why he received the promotion. What you want? You can have whatever you like. Is to put it on the table. Ask for it. Ask for it. God is sending you the help. Tap into your inner power and go deeper to create the purposeful life that you really want to have. Yeah. Go deeper. Go deeper into your authentic self. Listen to this. It says, as a singer or performer, the shadow, depth, and resilience. You turn darkness. You turn towards darkness. You turn towards darkness to reveal pain and transform it through courage. Now, refining fire. You turn towards darkness to reveal pain, to reveal the pain and transform it through courage. A vessel of truth. Your music encourages resonance with the unsaid, offering a gentle, honest observation through sound. You are tender and relational, and you connect with humanity by being intimate, using the voice to heal. You're a mystical and spiritual visionary. A mystical and spiritual visionary. You invite wonder and use the voice as a bridge to the unseen. The music you create is spiritual and beautiful, serving a greater purpose. Your vulnerable, tender, and relational energy fosters intimacy and healing through honest, present performance. Right here, remember the shedding and what it said at the bottom? It said, you work well in healing and medicine. You're starting to outgrow your work situation. You need to set higher goals and standard. Put something else on the table. Put some more on the table. Yeah. Yeah. The goal, it says moving hearts and making an emotional impact, because that's what Joseph did. He moved the heart of Pharaoh. The heart of Pharaoh. Moving hearts, making an emotional impact. The goal is to move the audience by first being moved themselves. True emotion is the foundation, creating a bridge from the singer's heart to the listener's ear. Yeah. But the goal is to move the audience by first being moved yourself. You can help somebody see themselves, but not before you can see yourself as the journalist, as the singer, as the learner, and the teacher. This learner, they tend to be self-sufficient, confident, and yeah, he was all of that. Joseph was all of that. They tend to be self-sufficient, confident, and at times solitary in their journey. Just all alone, individual, only one. The core motivation is the freedom to explore and make choices without being restricted by the establishment. They view life as a series of adventures of the soul. Adventures. They view life as a series of adventures of the soul. A series of adventures. You was this and you was that, and now you're this, doing that. Yeah. They view life as a series of adventures of the soul, where every new place or concept helps them to understand their own interior landscape. Yes, where every new place or concept helps them to understand their own interior and landscape. Learner embraces, it says explorers thrive on the unknown. They thrive on the unknown and are comfortable in unconventional, unstructured environments. Yes. Then we got the educator. See, first we got learner. Learn. Joseph learned. And now he's getting ready to educate Pharaoh. Mentor Pharaoh. Guide Pharaoh. Teach Pharaoh. Impart into Pharaoh. Possesses a foundational, universal pattern of wisdom. Passing down knowledge. Passing down. I'm going to tell you what I know by God. I'm going to tell you what I know. It is God that gives interpretation. That's what I know. I know that. That I know. Say that they act as a bridge between ignorance. Come on. Pharaoh was ignorant. He don't know. And enlightenment. Joseph was enlightened. He was the light in the dark. Had access to it. Provide and turned it on through prayer. Come on, praise and worship. When he said that it is God that gives interpretation, that was a form of praise and worship. It says, passing down knowledge and guiding personal or professional development, Guiding personal or professional development, acts as a bridge between ignorance and enlightenment, providing essential tools and support to help the student succeed on their journey. He helped Pharaoh stay a successful Pharaoh. And that's why Pharaoh said you can have whatever you like. What you want? Let's put something else on the table. What you need. Okay? Yes. It says the universe is sending you help. Yeah. Pharaoh was the help that Joseph needed. Yeah. He was sent for. Joseph was sent for too. Okay, so this educator, let's talk about this educator. A wise, experienced, older figure. Joseph had definitely grown older in age than he was when he had first gotten there. A wise, experienced, older figure, the mentor provides advice, emotional support, and guidance, helping the hero. Pharaoh was the hero. Helping the hero navigate challenges and avoid common pitfalls. Helping the hero navigate challenges. I'm going to get in this fire with you. This fiery situation. The famine was a type of fire. Okay? God was like, all hell finna break loose. All hell finna break loose. And I also see this clown as a shapeshifter too. Because Joseph had to be whatever God needed him to be when God needed him to be it. While they saying you flighty and whimsy and she don't know they don't know what they want to do with her. We doing it all. And doing it well. You have to know that. That's not me being cocky. It's the type of attitude that you have to have in order to get through. You gotta have it. Or they gonna burn you alive. You gotta have it or you gonna be trapped forever. You gotta be able to say, I can see in the dark. The light is within me. And God gonna show me the way. Because he is the truth. He is the light. Yeah. Or they gonna get you. Coming up here after a while, these two is the last two. He gonna get you. They gonna get, the enemy is behind it all, the great deceiver, yeah. He be using people, but he's the one that you gotta stay educated about. Know your adversary. Okay, the teacher, sharer of knowledge, focuses on equipping the student with the necessary tools, practical skills, and cognitive framework needed for success. Conveys valuable life lessons, seasoned perspectives, and deep-seated wisdom, fostering transformative growth rather than just sharing information. This was life-changing information that Joseph shared with Pharaoh. Life-changing. Conveys valuable life lessons. Okay? Yeah. He's a sage at this point. Whatever the highest is, he's like Jesus Christ himself. They always say that, Joseph was a type and shadow of Christ. He had the answers. There wasn't no answer he didn't have. No matter what came up, he could handle it. God was going to show him what to do. That's why his father gave him that coat of many colors. But Joseph had to see himself as such, even if the coat done been stripped off of him and dipped in goat's blood, and he had to see himself, know who he was, even though he was in the bottom of that well that they threw him in, even though he was being sold off, as a slave, human trafficking by his family, by his blood. That's hard when your blood is projecting an image before you of who you are. It's hard not to take that in. Because these are the people you live with. You grew up with. You around every day being who you were every day. And they acting like they don't see you. And they don't know you. And that ain't really who you are. And they doing everything and they punishing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you deserve. This is your portion. This is your cup. You deserve to be in the bottom of a pit somewhere with no spiritual inheritance, no inheritance, nothing passed down to you, as if you hadn't been a good steward over everything that God had put you in charge of while you was with them, around them. Yeah, serving them. They knew you were a good steward, but they treated you like you were everything but a child of God. Everything but a child of their fathers. Envying you, jealous of you. And you don't even know why. It's hard to grow through that kind of, to be that rose that grows through that kind of concrete. Talking about being between a rock and a hard place. When even your own father, his own father, didn't see him clearly. That he literally was the son of the living God. A type and shadow of it, for sure. For sure. But here we are. We have him as the educator. And I know I'm talking to modern day Josephs, you know what I'm saying, that are out there today. I remember a lady prophesied to me and she said, your life would be like unto Joseph. And I'm 55 now, just now realizing what she meant, what that means for my life. And because I know the end of the story, it's all right. We good. It's okay. But there are other Josephs, my tribe. You know that Joseph is, I think he has his own tribe in the 144,000. He has his own tribe. There's a tribe called Joseph. If I'm not mistaken, I might need to go and look that up just to clarify, but I think so. There is a tribe of Josephs out here. That God is calling us forth, calling us out of the depths of wherever he done had us hidden for such a time as this. With the wisdom and the experience. It says the core characteristic of a teacher, a mentor, is they paid attention. Come. They paid attention to their own life's journey, which allows them to turn experience into insight. I'm done. Dun, 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 dun. Read that again. The core characteristic of a teacher, of a mentor, is they paid attention to their own life's journey. This is what separate wheat from tare, okay? Yeah. They paid attention to their own lives, their own minding their own business now. What's going on in their lives. They paid attention to their own life's journey, which allowed them to turn the experiences that they went through, the hell, the high waters, to turn the experiences that they went to into insight. Into insight. Insight. You can see into the situation so that you can move about with tact and diplomacy without getting pricked. without dying in the fire, without being burned. Know what to do, what not to do. You can ease your head out of the lion's mouth. I'm talking about the one that walketh about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Talking about that one. Yeah. You can ease your head. Ease out of his mouth. Ease it out. Don't snatch it out. Take a whole head off. You got to be, as cunning as that snake. As gentle as the dove. Got to be able to go with the flow. Got to be able to take that heat. Knowing that it's short term. It's just short term. Short term. Short term. We ain't stopping here. Come on. Come on. Let's get some clarification on singer. Singer. Holy Spirit, give me some clarification on singer. Honest work. It says, it's okay to have a job that's not very glamorous. Get some experience to help you move up in the future. Success is a process, not a quick fix. Yeah, it's a process, not a quick fix. Education, it's a process, not a quick fix. We learning. Education, you may need to take a class or do research to find a better position. Or you may find yourself writing a book or teaching others. Maybe so. Maybe so. Give me one more. Give me one more. Cutting ties. It says, you may need to leave your current position. That means things can move fast. You may need to leave your current position and look for something better. Ending a job doesn't mean burning bridges. Go with grace. And I'm thinking about Joseph when it was time, when God was calling him out of there. It was quick. It was quick. 1 minute he was the, I don't even know what the name of it was, but he did have a position even down in the pit. He did have a position. Yeah. But yeah. And it was honest work. Might not have been glamorous. Okay? But he was doing exactly what he was told and making it better down there for everybody too. Getting experience. And no matter where he was getting experience. That would help him move up in the future. By being authentic, by being steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. No matter where you at, what you doing, if it's glamorous or not. And steady learning, being educated, so that you can educate others. Now he's talking about writing a book and teaching others. What's learner? Give me something for learner, Holy Spirit. Learner. Explorer. It says real passion. Stop wasting time. He being direct tonight, y'all. Stop wasting time. Let me show y'all the picture. It says stop wasting time in dead-end jobs and find your true passion. Boy. It's fine to experiment, but don't settle for less than you truly deserve. Don't settle for less than you truly deserve. Give me something else. Give me, let me get a little what's the gossip, and then I got some what's the tea mixed in here. What's this? Real passion and learner. Swipe right. Online dating, instant attraction, digital romance, match found, unbothered. Yeah. So if somebody is trying to swipe right, you unbothered. You focus. Give me something else. Peace in spite of chaos, calm attitude, detachment from negativity, not my drama. Yeah, and then it got energy vampire. draining connections, toxic influence, protect your energy. Time to cut cords. Cut cords is out here twice, y'all. This energy vampire. Talking about cutting cords. You trying to get your attention. This sound like Joseph and the wife. Yeah, Joseph and Potiphar's wife. She trying to, you know, get him in bed. Yeah. But you learning. You know better than that. You done live life and you done learn. You know better. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right before we move up, don't do that. But the enemy gonna come. He gonna come and see if he can get some of that energy. Cutting ties. Draining connection, toxic influence. Protect your energy. Time to cut cords. We about to be out of there. Give me one more for this over here. All of this was going on. Reflection. It says, take time to revisit the past and figure out what you want to do. Knowing what you don't want. Knowing what you don't like will show you what you truly love. Knowing what you don't want will show you what you truly love. Knowing what you don't want, no daddy and nothing. We don't want no daddy and nothing. We trying to get situated. We looking for forever. Yeah, we trying to get situated. But you good. You unbothered. Yeah, you not phased. You not distracted. You detaching from the negativity with a calm attitude. Yeah. So it's time to go. You finna leave. You finna leave a job. It's time to move. So stay ready. Stay ready, because we moving. We moving. Give me something for this educator. What do we need to know about this wisdom and experience that we learn, how we paid attention in life and such? Come on, I just said that. Beginning. New beginning. It's a good time to start a new job or a whole new career. You have creative ideas that get noticed. Build a nest egg for the future. So what? What's this educator? You might be finna be an educator, honey. Talking about writing books and teaching others. What's this new beginning? What's this new start, new job, new career? We got a lot coming out here. Let me show y'all. Yeah. But that me versus me, new beginning. It says me versus me, plastic smiles, hustle mode, and hidden agenda, which we already know. Whatever the plastic smiles is, with the hidden agenda, we over here with the me versus me and the hustle mode. Yeah, that's that Potiphar's wife stuff. Jezebel's spirit. Trying to get your attention. Don't fall in the trap. Don't fall in the trap. It says me versus me. Self-competition. Personal growth. Becoming better than yesterday. My only competition is me. You focus with this new beginning, this educator. Hustle mode. Grinding hard. Ambitious drive. Determined effort. Sleep can wait. Okay? Work. Because you're working for God. Yeah, because you're working for God. It's like, what we doing next? And then it's got hidden agenda, secret intentions, manipulation, people trying to give you gifts, disguised as kindness, hidden, let me get one of these, hidden motivations, too helpful to trust, fake kindness, forced friendliness, all this. Yeah, we ain't. We ain't. This too too many. That's too many. We ain't falling for it though. Friends in name only. You know, Joseph thought that him and Potiphar was boys. He was his right hand man. Yeah, this cuffing season. This is that spirit. Is that Potiphar's wife's spirit? Cuffing season, temporary relationship, seasonal companionship, seasonal friendship, short term. We too educated. We too educated to fall for yeah, somebody going broke. Somebody going broke. And here they come with secret intentions, trying to hook you with something, ain't got nothing themselves, and call it, they gonna come in though with these plastic smiles. To offer you something. Just to probably get a little bit of energy. It look like a beggar to me. I ain't even read the card yet, but it says the bills are stacking, the funds are shrinking, and the lifestyle isn't matching the bank account anymore. Can you imagine what Potiphar and his wife felt like when they found out that Joseph had been appointed, and you done put that man in jail indefinitely on death row? Yeah. It says red flags. Yeah, you see them. You see the red flags. You know all the signs. You the educator. You the guy. You the teacher on this. You teach people how to recognize what betrayal look like. You teach them how to get through that fire, and to know that it's okay. God created the blacksmith, and there is no tool, no weapon that has been created to destroy you. That's Isaiah 54. There is no weapon formed against you that can prosper. It says warning signs, ignored intuition, potential trouble, you knew better. Yeah, we knew better, we know better, we educated. Yeah. And in this card here say unbreakable. See that? See? That's what I'm saying. Unbreakable. Going through all that, whatever, and whatever they got for us, being able to navigate stealthily like a spy. You see them but don't see them. They see you but don't recognize you as being who you are. But they don't matter about what they recognize as long as you see yourself as you should. Okay? Okay? Stay in touch with your star player now. Yeah. Stay ready. See in the dark. You got to be able to see in the dark. Joseph was in darkness. Complete and total. Egypt was dark. Egypt was the dark place. It was. It was. It was dark. Even if you just look at it in a foreign way. He had to be. He was led by the internal. Feeling his way through. Sound. Sound. You know the bats follow the sound. The echo. The sound. What it sound like. You could hear opportunity. Unbreakable. Inner toughness. Inner toughness. Inner toughness. Inner toughness to deal with betrayal. Inner toughness. Enduring hardship. Strength through adversity. Strength through adversity. Nothing can break me. Nothing can break me. You was built that way. You was made that way. God put you in the situation to prove it. So, I don't know what y'all made out of, but look like situation, circumstances is about to test them waters. Because you didn't blame nobody. You didn't get mad. Joseph, he didn't get mad. He wasn't mad. He wasn't bitter. He was just all the whole time, me versus me. Me versus me. Me getting through this adversity. Me being able to endure this fire, these flames, you know what I'm saying? These high waters, this hell. him versus him. Him always growing, learning, becoming better. Because he did that, he was ready when Pharaoh called him. Instead of being mad and being like, I don't know what you're calling me for. You know what I'm saying? You don't have me. No, he wasn't complaining or nothing that. He was working when his name was being called. He was serving. Yeah. He was down there being a guy down there. Telling the baker and the cupbearer they dreams, and he was educating, being even leading by example. Just him living was a living example. But right here, this is why he getting that new beginning, because you've been grinding hard, determined effort. That attitude of sleep can wait. Yeah, I wasn't sleeping. He was staying ready. Let's get something on this betrayal. Betrayal, it says conspiracy, the hidden agent, involves a secret alignment with an enemy or a rival group, amplifying the shock. Involves a secret alignment with an enemy or rival group, amplifying the shock. No, not all y'all. All 11 of you? Joseph had 11 brothers. No, so it had to be 10 because Benjamin is one of them. All 10 of you? In alignment? That's my enemy? It says betrayal, broken bonds, the fall, the severing of an intimate connection. The severing of an intimate connection, often transforming a secure attachment into a traumatic bond. Often transforming a secure attachment. We brothers, we supposed to be, we family, into a traumatic bond. We are brothers, but you're the brothers that betrayed me. It says the Judas figure, the ultimate universal image of intimacy turned into treachery, is Judas. The ultimate universal image of intimacy turned into treachery. The one that sit with me, the one that eat with me, the one that sat at my table, that one. The one I fed and prepared meals for. Woo! See, the betrayal of the brother. That's what I'm hearing. The betrayal of the brothers. A brother's betrayal. Somebody from you, that you knew. You know these people. Eat, sleep, everything. Betrayal often creates two conflicting truths that the victim must learn to hold: the memory of love and the reality of the lie love told. My God. Betrayal creates a divided self. Betrayal often creates two conflicting truths. Two conflicting, but both things are true. That the victim must learn to hold without splitting into. The first is the memory of love. Your brothers you grew up with. Sat at the table with. Broke bread with. And the reality of the lie love told. The lie love told was that I love you. But love don't do what you did. Love don't do what you did. The blacksmith is a figure of strength, skill, and transformation. A guardian who helps others Okay, this is the blacksmith. We ain't got there yet. We still on betrayal. The breaking of a promise. It says disloyalty, the breach. The breaking of a promise, covenant, or relational standard, like infidelity or treason. The shattered reality of the mirror. The discovery of a hidden betrayal, like a family secret. Because that's what Joseph was dealing with. This was a family secret. They done lied to their daddy, told him that a wolf got a hold of him or something. All these 24 years, they ain't told their daddy the truth. Family secret. Infidelity or fraud. Fraud. Because y'all acting like y'all are the ones. Y'all killed, it was like a destiny swap. You know what I'm saying? Y'all attempt, you get rid of him, attempted murder, get rid of him, human trafficking, get rid of him, so that y'all could be, what he was in his place. Y'all could take it. You still was what you was. You still was what you was. Wasn't gonna be no more than that competing. Where there was no competition. He was chosen. God decided. God decided. It says betrayal, the shattered reality, and then it has mirror. The discovery of a hidden betrayal, like a family secret, infidelity, or fraud, forces a radical revision of personal history. It forces a radical revision of your personal history, turning a safe past into a constructed falsehood. And you guys say it is what it is. Was what it was. Betrayal is a manifestation of the shadow, representing the hidden, darker impulses of humanity, like disloyalty, selfishness, and aggression. The cold violation of betrayal. Treachery is viewed as a cold, calculating act. See, it wasn't just an act, it was the fact that it was calculated. Marking a total abandonment of human warmth. They have no warmth for him. He calling out to him, Reuben is going down the line, calling everybody's name. Marking a total abandonment of human warmth and connection. They were showing him that they was what? Cut off. They done cut him off. That we do not see you. We do not hear you. You are not our brother. And you had to reflect. Joseph had to reflect on that. See it for what it is. Accept it. Yeah. It is what it is. This is what it is. You've been abandoned. They don't have no warmth for you. There is no, you ain't connected like you thought you was. The bond is broken. It's been a breach in contract, whatever. Betrayal, initiation, am I my brother's keeper? You're supposed to be your brother's keeper, but here they are acting like Cain killing Abel. Same thing. Different story, but same narrative, same storyline. Betrayal, initiation through disillusionment. Betrayal, initiation through disillusionment. It is the loss of innocence. Because now Joseph can no longer, believe whatever he was believing about his brothers. We're all brothers, we're brothers. Yeah, no. The victim is forced to confront the harsh reality that a trusted figure is flawed or malignant, leading to a profound, often traumatic transformation of self. Right here. Yeah. That's when that fire, that fiery truth, that fiery situations makes you face it. Yeah. Leading, yeah, you got to face it. You got to face that harsh reality, that harsh truth, that a trusted figure is flawed. They're flawed. They're flawed. You got to trust the reality that the trusted figure, the trusted figures, they're flawed or malignant, leading to a profound, often traumatic transformation of self. Thank God that it leads to a transformation. It might have been traumatic, but whatever, Lord, long as we get to be transformed. A deception, it says deceit, the lie. A deception that masks the truth, a deception that masks the truth. Thought you loved me, thought they loved me, thought, we might, have issues, argue a little bit, whatever, they might be this way, that way, whatever, but at the end of the day, you thought there was love. A deception that masks the truth to avoid conflict or manipulate outcomes. A deception that masks the truth to avoid conflict. Okay, so they don't go and tell their father that they actually killed him. They just say a wolf got a hold of him. Wolf got a hold of him. He dead. Nobody. I mean, come on, y'all. Well, I guess the wolf dragged him away. Anyway. But a deception that masks the truth to avoid conflict, because they don't want to tell him the truth. They know their daddy wasn't gonna never forgive him. To avoid conflict or to manipulate outcomes. Now we get the blessing. Tell us that, our sheaves gonna bow down to your sheaves. Tell us that you the chosen one in the family. Don't tell us that. We gonna manipulate these outcomes. Let me take one from each. Let me see. What's the T? Give me something for betrayal. Betrayal. Threaten. We read that. They was threatened by Joseph. Threatened, intimidated, threatened, and bothered. Bothered by their brother. And we have ignoring. And Joseph he knew that all along. They've been treating him this way from the beginning. And he just was ignoring them. He was just going on about his business. Doing what he had, doing what he do. I'll put that out there. And ignoring them. Yeah, that's how they is. That's how they do. They bully me. They this, they that. They say things. Cause me to see myself differently. But I just ignore them. Well, it was jackpot. And because you ignored them. Woo! Give me something for ignored. Ignoring. Running. Ignore what's running. Ignoring and running. Ignoring and running. Give me clarity, Holy Spirit. Stalker and fake flexing. Watching, obsess, acts rich, flosses, acts fancy, shows off. That's who's running. And bothered and intimidated. Why they intimidated? Why is the betrayer? Are they running too? Because they them probably toxic ties. This isn't a villain story. It's a messy entanglement where both sides are contributing to the destruction. And then on the bottom it got dirty laundry. What's toxic ties? Besides the family, they were definitely toxic ties. Family ties. Secret affair. And even with them, I know what that means, and you can take it how it resonate in your situation. But the whatever what the brothers was doing, it was a secret affair. They was doing it behind the scenes, on the low, and all of this is with betrayal. Give me one more for secret affair. They thought they could hide it. Listen to this, y'all. They thought they could hide it, but whispers are growing louder. Affairs rarely stay hidden forever. What's done in the dark coming to the light. Got clickbait out here. You won't believe this story. Influencer status. At the end of the day, you moving on up. Yeah. Social recognition, online fame, power to influence. Swipe up. While they trying to get you to swipe right. You swiping up because you done learned your lessons, okay? Come through, Joseph. Come through. Wisdom gain. Completing cycles. Come on. See yourself as you are. See yourself as you are. Don't let the situation, whatever it was that happened, the betrayal, the secret affair, the toxic ties. Yeah, listen. Don't pay that no mind. Don't pay it no mind. Because it ain't got nothing to do with you and who you are. It ain't got nothing to do with you and who you really are. And who you really are. This performer, this journalist, this fireman of courage. Come on. Withstand anything. We moving on up. This is what I just say. Okay, so as far as the betrayal, influencer status, lessons learned, and jackpot. Okay, come on. Joseph was not broke. Joseph's new position, broke wasn't nowhere in the picture, baby. He was blessed and highly favored. Yeah. Choosing to say single, yeah, you good. Yeah, it's got toxic love, poker face, secret admirer, which we do not care. Okay, we don't care. We leaving all that behind. We know the love was toxic. Joseph Brothers' the love was toxic. Yeah. And they had the poker face. It was a wolf that got him. Where's your brother? Just like Cain with Abel. Where's your brother? Poker face. They just ain't saying nothing, mute. They just probably didn't even say nothing. They probably just showed them the coat dip that they done dipped in goat's blood. They done shed blood over this. A real sacrifice. Toxic love. Okay, last one, y'all. Give me something for blacksmith. What's blacksmith talking about? Let me go to my I am wisdom. I am wealthy with wisdom. Wisdom is my wealth. What's blacksmith? Stranger danger. Dear friends, if bad companions tempt you, Don't go along with them. Don't listen, don't look, don't go. Don't listen, don't look, don't go. Give me another one. A blacksmith. Emotional wellness. Peace of mind makes the body healthy. Listen, peace of mind makes the body healthy. Peace of mind, because you done learned them lessons. You is single, and that's your choice, by choice. Peace of mind, doing what you're supposed to be doing, influencing, reflecting. Peace of mind makes the body healthy. So see yourself now. Trying to give you a picture. Peace of mind makes the body healthy. But runaway emotions, and your money good too. Don't be jackpot. Money good too. Peace of mind. Peace of mind. But runaway emotions? Runaway emotions. Runaway emotions. You know what you done did. Watching to see if anybody else know what you done did. But the streets is out here. These spiritual streets is out here talking. And telling your business. So yeah. It's known. It's known. But runaway emotions. But this is it right here. It says, but runaway emotions and jealousy. Runaway emotions. Your emotions done ran away what you sowed. And jealousy. You so jealous. It says it's like cancer to the bones. Cancer to the bones. Runaway emotions. And jealousy to the point where you betray. Betray. Just betrayal. Just all that. This is betrayal. Just betrayal. Toxic love too. Just betrayal. Yeah. Runaway emotions and jealousy. Because we already saw you threaten. It's like cancer to the bones. But this is what I'm saying, when you're being forged in the fire. And tempted by it too. Tempted by fire. Fiery, intense, passionate, come on, let's go do this. Come on, let's go do that, Type things, opportunities, temptations. With bad company. Don't go along with them. That woman asking Joseph, come lay with me. Joseph was a virgin at that time. And a young man. So it would have been real easy. But Joseph, don't listen, don't look, don't go. Stranger danger. He knew. He knew his daddy probably had done told him. Because Jacob had done learned some lessons. And he was definitely up underneath, had him underneath his wing. So he probably had already put him up on game and told him, don't do this, don't do that, don't do the others. He was breaking these generational curses. Yeah. And that's why in the end of the day, he ended up being emotionally well. It was what? Well with his soul. It was well with his soul. A few more. With his blacksmith, stranger danger. It says, mirror, mirror. Facing yourself and others. Reflective relationships. Self-awareness. What you see is you. Let it go. Let it go. Let go. Let go of the stranger danger. Don't look, don't see. Just, releasing grudges, emotion. And that's another thing. At the end of it, Joseph forgave him. After he tested the spirits to see if they be of God or if they were still of the devil, he let it go. And sometimes before you know, you got to let it go. Just like you hear me talking about it. I see what it is, but let it go. Releasing grudges. Emotional freedom. Forgiving yourself and others. Free your heart. Why? Commitment issues. Afraid to settle down, avoiding intimacy, fear of loss of freedom is complicated. So that might be why they did whatever they did, got wake up call. But you know, sometimes things happen. God will use you to be that mirror. That's what we've been talking about. How God will use you. Joseph was a mirror. He was a mirror. All of that happened so that they could see themselves as this. And all of that. Intimidated. Look at how intimidated you are. How jealous you are. Yeah. See? Mirror, mirror. Yeah. They was able to see who they were. Look at that status upgrade after you let it go. After Job prayed for his enemies. After Joseph let it go. I believe that's when Pharaoh, God gave Pharaoh this dream and caused him to, you know what I mean, move on up. After you let it go. New achievements. Improve social standing. Lifestyle elevation. Next level. Give me something. Give me something. Give me something. Give me something for this status upgrade and we gonna go. Status upgrade. Status upgrade. Status upgrade. Status upgrade. Tell me about this status upgrade. Besides jackpot and all this other good stuff we got out here. Status upgrade. One more card. Ooh. It says, the one you feed will win. There are two wolves fighting inside all of us. Inside all of us. Two wolves fighting inside all of us. The first one is evil. The second one is good. Which wolf will win? The one you feed. And that's a Native American saying. Yeah, you fed the right one. That's why you're getting this status upgrade. You fed the right one. Yep. Yep, you was tried in the fire and came forth as pure gold. They didn't feed the right one. They fed intimidation. They fed, you know, being bothered, and they fed toxicity, toxic this, toxic that. They fed fear. Obsession. Voyeurism. Who are you? And I guess the lesson of it all is the message that I want to, when you look it in the mirror. Look at that, it's funny that just came out. Yeah, that's what it's about. The man in the mirror. Who are you? Gotta know who you are. I said that. Know who you are. Consider the rock from which you was home. You're like your father. Your father. And your brother, Jesus. Your heavenly Father. Unbreakable. We had that out here. Yeah. Unbreakable. Being whoever shapeshifted. Being whatever God needs you to be when he needs you to be it. Able to go with the flow. You are blessed and highly favored. Tell you that. You win because you went within. You went deeper. Didn't go out and look externally. Was able to shed. You are a healer. Healed yourself. You know what I'm trying to say. God is the healer, but you know what I mean. He uses us. We the one have to be patient. We're the ones that have to endure. We're the ones that have to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Yeah, you had to do that. We had to have faith. We had to keep trusting that eventually we was going to get that upgrade. God was going to call our name. Just as sure as we let it go. Surrendered. Your will be done. Not my will, God. Your will be done. Yep. Learn those lessons, Lord. Thank you for teaching us. We paid attention. We paid attention to our own lives. Turn those experiences into insight. Why they talking about why you? Let's talk about why not you. Okay, that's a better question. Instead of why me. You still there. You still there. Talking about why you. You still feeding the wrong wolf. Still feeding the wrong wolf. But anyway, y'all, I enjoyed that. I hope you did too. And until next time, bye.